Hey Kristen, how you doing? Happy, is it Thursday? Happy Thursday, first of all. It's probably your afternoon, isn't it? So look, I thought I'd just record a video to help run through it because probably it's been a bit of a case of, as you said, miscommunication and our fault, probably my fault to be honest with you, because I should have got involved to walk through the rationale. So let me just go through your bits one by one. So yeah, sure. So the team that we have, which is one person, is sufficient for 300 servings. Absolutely. Given the nature of the event, we can make it happen with one person, so that's fine. Yep, so the extra server is something that we're doing anyway in respect of the actual initial delivery, as far as I understand. But yeah, there's no additional cost you're being charged for the extra server. So it's not the case that the cost has been inflated to add a second server in terms of what you originally paid. That's just something that we do in events where we think that, okay, fine, there may be a rush to some degree, and that just comes from the fact that we're going to have two people to actually do the setup. So then this person setting up may well end up sticking around because, as you can appreciate, hauling in the actual matches and the event setup, given there's going to be prep for 300 cups, it's difficult to do with one person. So I hope that makes sense from a logistical perspective. So Cassidy's right that in an in-shop environment where you have immediate access in a shop where there's workflow that takes 1 to 2 minutes, but in an environment where we are going in at an event, ultimately, it will take longer because it just, as you can imagine, the points that we have for setup take a little bit longer, and then the prep isn't always exactly the same. Not to say that it takes extortionately more, but then might take, for example, 2 to 4 minutes instead of 1 to 2 minutes. So, and yes, quite right about the pre-made matcher, the available to help speed up service. So yeah, that ignore probably a typo on our part. So it's not that, of course, because that would mean there'd be 600 servings, 600 people. So not at all. Yeah, there will be enough servings. I totally understand. And yeah, look, the reason for the rationale for the pricing, basically, for why is it, for example, 2,000. Here's a simple way to look at it. Maybe this is helpful. So we'll have additional. So it's, if you do 2,000 divide, for example, 300, then it works out as about £6.66 serving. Now, if you get a matcher at one of the cafes that we own and operate, How Matcher, then you pay maybe £5 basically, and that's obviously in store when you optimize based upon the fact that you have a store. And when we do it based upon events, then our order batches are a lot smaller. It ultimately just raises our prices. So what you're paying ultimately is a pretty, to be honest with you, there's places in central London that charge that anyway. So that's the rationale behind, well, why is it, for example, £2,000 for 300 matches? So I think that Melanie's now brought it down, or said 17.50, I think, from recollection. So then it comes down to £5.83. So that is what you would get in a shop. And as we discussed, if there's a proportion of it that doesn't get used, then we can refund a portion of it. Now, some stuff we just need to spend as a hard cost also, if you imagine. So that's the other part of it. Like, we need to buy the milk to be prepared. We need to have the matches to be prepared. And then just to bring all of it in, that's where the second person being on site will be part of it. So just think of it in those terms. Well, I say think of it in those terms. I hope this is helpful in understanding the cost calculation. And yeah, with that in mind, 17.50 we definitely can do. We couldn't do the 1,000 for it because that works out £3 per matcher. We just couldn't do it. We would lose money on that, honestly. So there's not very much profit margin at all that's built into 17.50. So I hope you understand. I hope that makes some more sense, and just let me know. All right, cheers.